Welcome again, family. Welcome again to another blazing fire episode 4. Woo. And the word of today, and the topic is word discovery. And the question goes like this: What is the definition of discovery? What is the definition of discovery?
And for you out there.
And for you out there too. What does the discovery or the word discovery mean
To you.
And how do you define it, brother? So the floor is yours. Please define it.
All right. Next time you should go first.
So you don't worry, that's fine. Now I'm ready.
I've been discovered. All right, cool. The word discovery in terms of the law is the compulsory disclosure by one party to an action to another of revealing testimony or documents that is signed. So that's discovery in terms of the law. So for you out there,
documents and revelation and action.
yeah.
Wow.
And then they will be taken out from you and they'll be like, oh, we discovered this. But you actually kind of signed. A lot of people back in the days, like they kind of verbally exchange that discovery. That's what I believe in. So,
And what is your personal point of view?
my personal point of view is when I was a little kid, my mom kicked me out of the room because I was making a lot of noise.
You gave him the hood.
Yeah. And then when I went outside, so
And I bet she did that. Like, I'll be like,
How far did that
So I went outside, so I was just sitting there, like just in the rock, crying. But I looked up and I saw a beautiful like little circle. I'm like, wow, what that little white ball is doing up there? And it turned out to be the moon. So I said to myself, I discovered the moon as a little kid. So
God's
that's to me.
touch.
Yeah, so basically, if you've seen something that somebody didn't see, that's a discovery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, what if?
What about you?
For me, discovery can be explained in a lot of terms, or in a lot of ways. So for me, as is right, discovery first is everyone has discovered something, Someone you might not have any idea, even though millions of people know about it, but if it was your first time to see it and you feel like you're the first person who found it, you still have the right to believe that you discovered it because you saw it without having a knowledge about it. But for me, the other thing is also the other ways of discovering is, your talent. For example, when
your talent?
When did you discover, you could do something. For example, for us, the blazing fire. When did we discover we could do blazing fire?
Yeah, I think we discovered it like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. So that is discovery. And then the other discoveries are just other things at school too. When did you discover you actually good at some subject? Or you actually demolish this subject or this or sports or whatever. So discovery can be in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to mean big things or anything small you discover. Even finding a coin on the streets, that's discovery. You discovered that coin.
Okay.
So
Thanks. So before I put my input, I think I gotta ask you guys with this question because it's been boiling since you guys been saying these.
Yeah.
So if another man go to another man country and that man conquer that country and take it and use the word discovery, is that something that is supposed to be allowed, or is that, how do you guys define this? How do you guys see this? Because I want to see you guys how you guys can define that.
I can't come to your house, without knocking the door at first, or even like just letting you know that I'm coming to either stay, with you, or even like explain my situation, what's happening to me. So I can't go to your house. Break in, take whatever, and then kick you out, or let you just stay in a small little corner and be like, all right, cool, I discovered your house, and me, I will come and take over. So for me, I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's allowed. And people who do that, they're ignorant people, and people who don't have soul, and also don't have humanity. And I think Human Rights Commissioner, they should do something about it. I think they need to tackle a lot of stuff, because the word discovery, that's not what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on my side, I guess Ez is right. It's about, like if you look at colonialism, So this is the question for me to ask you out there as well, watching. Do you think there should be a ground or a limit of discovery of what sort of things you can discover or claim that you discovered?
Man, they should be put in education system.
Yeah, I would love to, know your answers, and you guys too. Is because if you look at colonialism, we spoke about it a little bit in episode 3.
And 2.
I touched a little bit about it, So it's like, for example, I'm from Uganda. We have, lots of beautiful lakes and rivers and all that. And we have one of the longest, there are some books or history, they say like, John Speake discovered this in Uganda, the source of the Nile, blah, blah, or this. But if you look at the history of the country, there were already people living around that place. People were already there. People already settled in. People already doing fishing and farming along the
Have
river. They have families, generations raised around that place. And then you come out of nowhere and then you be like, I'm the one who discovered this place. Just because, you are the one maybe who put it on the map doesn't mean actually you discovered it, because people were already there.
Yeah.
Just maybe they should start using other terms of being like, I was the first person to discover this place and put it on the map. But not as in being, I'm the first person who discovered this place.
Yeah, and who you in the first place?
There were already people there. Who, like, when you came, who brought you there? Who was showing you the ways? There were already families and people there. So how can you claim that you?
And for you, what's up, man? What's up with the name?
No, because starting with the name, because the word, like the actual word discovery itself, is to me, I would put it as a dysfunctional word, because the way it works.
Break it down.
The way it works, because if you use the word dis, it actually mean lack of substance, and then you have discover, you have cover, mean to protect. So you actually
disprotecting something.
Like, so by you having that substance, that lack of something, that meaning you go there to find something, which is because one of the reasons why the colonialism was so much embedded through those missionaries that came to Africa and do the misdeed, was because they used a word like such as word God and discovered. But so to me, the word discovered is dysfunctional, because it's used in so many ways that it should actually need to be redefined perfectly. Like they need to come up with another word actually to be like, can we have another word that is a lot more, have some substance, not one that is lack substance. So the word discovery, to me, I think is outdated and obsolete. So we shouldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. I really like want to dig deep into like exactly what you said before. You said this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
lack of substance.
And then
you have cover. Mean to protect.
Yeah.
So this, like, if you lack of substance, what are you protecting? You protecting of something that it doesn't. You like something that is not even yours. Yeah. So meaning that you come across something that is more like a trip over something. You're like, I just found it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Like the compulsory disclosure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So even like the word disclosure, still.
It's
how like disclosure.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be closure.
Yeah, it just have a closure. Yeah. So any word with the word DIS is always dysfunctional. Yeah, it's lack of something, but they just have to use that
maybe
word to
another word.
their point.
Yeah.
Maybe they should change the word, maybe discover to, maybe expose, meaning you actually expose that thing to the public.
Oh, yeah.
No, but like, cause, and then
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you did not discover it, but you exposed it, so people knew it. People got to know it through you.
Yeah.
So you exposed it out there, but you did not discover it.
And also, the word discover came out of from French and a bit of Latin, so it's a mix of both in 1300s. So that's got a bit of a long history in that kind of, conveying ways of, because Latin and French and all of the other languages, European languages, they all branch out of Latin, because Latin is the mother of European countries. So
there you go. So for people who are out there, especially like our people, especially the rappers out there, when they be like, oh, I wanted this guy, I wanted this guy, I wanted this person, and I wanted that person. So make sure like you use that word wisely. You know what I mean?
And also do your research before
before you even like use that word.
Before you start dissing people.
And also because the other thing is because the word discovered, people when you look at it the way, and they say that they discovered these islands when there were people already living there. So when I was saying the word discover or discovery is dysfunctional, is because you can never discover something when somebody is already living on it. Yeah, can somebody explain me that?
In other words, I feel like the word in a history book, the word discovered means otherwise, conquer or murdering, because it was only used by Europeans, when they went to another country and took over stuff. Pretty much not even took over, robbed the country and killed their people. And then at the end they go back to their country, and then with our gold, whatever, and then they claim, oh, I discovered this place, or I discovered that, or I did this. So in other words, in a very passive, I guess, I don't know, passive aggressive or whatever, they try use the word discover to cover up their, killings and conquering or changing the whole place to their own benefit.
To be honest, like, you reckon us when we came to this land here, this beautiful land, us coming here, try to live a better life. It's not like we came to discover another,
that's that's what I'm gonna say. That means
we came in to emerge
with the culture
that is
already here.
And also
existing culture.
And also we try to understand. So we can bring our culture, and then
we have our own language. Remember, understand and overstand.
Overstand the culture that has already existed for how many years? For thousands of years. You know what I mean? And for that, also we're trying to acknowledge that. Not coming in and be like, oh, we discovered this, we discovered this, we discovered that. Now we're trying to emerge, and we've been emerging for over like 20 years so far. You know what I mean? And that word, definitely needs some kind of like revision and for people to kind of rewrite, and also those institutions who create those words. You know what I mean? And also we're trying to like kind of define that. And yesterday I went to this thing called Blacktivism, and bro, like there was something that stood out. It's called thinking thoughts. You know what I mean? So there's like a poetry, but they're like, nah, poetry is not our one. Thinking thoughts. So basically when you think and write those thoughts down, that's you thinking it, and you write it down for people to actually, you vocal it out for people to know that it is spoken word, it is poetry, it is story. You know what I mean? So now we, the people are redefining words. restructure it.
Yeah.
And also that big word they call it unpack it as well. And for
Yeah,
us to go
unpack,
deep,
yeah.
you know, to go for us to go deeper.
That's
so,
what I mean.
Yeah, so for people out there, man, like nowadays with your phone, like you could discover a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And
you could expose a lot of
expose
stuff.
what unpack.
Yeah, as
and learn.
Yeah, was talking about. There's a book that I was reading. It's called King Leopold II, The Ghost of King Leopold II. And this was an American writer. It was writing. He wrote this book, and the book is actually exposing, you know, the how the Belgium came to Congo, and the way they were disciplining the children or the young men. If you make a mistake, they will amputate your arm just as a way to discipline savages. And this is how he was doing it. He was robbing people with the gum trees, and also he was actually plundering the country with the resources, and he was killing people at the same time. But in the other, like in Europe, he was considering himself like he was the king. So we come up to another word as well. What does the word king mean to you? Or like, what is the definition of a word king? Should be king, like, you know, the word king come with ruthless and aggression, or could it be like defined in a different way? Because, and also if you look at the royal family right now, because what is happening in South Africa, you know, if you go back through the apartheid, even to the present day, South Africa, there's still, the original people of South Africa are still suffering because there's no balance of resources. Because one side of it is actually getting them all, and the original people of that land are suffering to the point where they actually have to work for another man, which in your own country, some of them, they get shut down just for walking across the farm. And you like, my father, or my great ancestors were here, and this is still happening. And then if we look across the world, we have so much problem happening. And then on the other side, we have a religion point of view saying that, you know, we should be in harmony. But what is the harmony when other people are being killed? Look, an example of what is happening in America right now. Black people are being killed. Little kids, you know, little young girls are going missing every other week.
And it's happening here in Australia.
So these kids end up being dead or end up being raped, and then you find them in the backyard of a deranged man, and then that man is not going to be sentenced into a prison, just being given. They put him in a mental institution just to.
Even here in Australia.
So what, when is enough, or how, like, cause with humanity, we need to actually trying to find a way, because the word human right is not actually favoring, you know, the whole human race. It's actually favoring one side of or the race.
And they know it.
Yeah.
You know,
but we need everything to be unpacked, because as I'm saying this is our time as the children of the sun. The sun is a lot more closer, and our time is right now. So we need to be in harmony and also unity with ourselves, because we've been hating each other. We've been pinned against each other,
poisoning each other.
Yeah, poisoning each other, and also
dissing
each other. And also
exposing one another.
And also there's a lot of borders being put on our continent, something that it wasn't actually existed back then. So all of these things, but it's not just to actually trying to blame the outsiders as well. We have our own hidden hands that is actually did us bad deeds. So just we never, like, everything that we do here is not just saying that, you know, they did it. We have our own miscommunication, or people that actually go after something, go after money or being bribed, and then at the end of the day they end up being the black sheep. And also and that come to the word black. By the way, the word black is not actually a bad thing.
I think Albert wants to say
something.
something.
No, I was just gonna say something funny or whatever. I always like to make people laugh.
Yeah, you still got time, man. It's you, man.
But I was just gonna say, which could be, it's actually a serious topic too, which is another episode in the future, is the word also, racism or discrimination.
Discrimination.
So, that is, but I was laughing at what you said, or wanted to say something. I remember, the late Robert Mugabe said, he's like, the word racism or discrimination against, let's say, black people will never end as long as white cars use black tires.
It will never change.
And as long as, if you do something wrong, you're blacklisted, not whitelisted. So, which is true. And as long as a white color is being used as a good thing and the black is being used as a bad, thing, until that finishes, we are always gonna face discrimination and racism.
Yeah, like to be honest, man, like again, like yesterday, when I went and saw that show, Black TV is a promo. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was really, really good because it wasn't saying, we this, we that. Yeah. No, it's just like black folks sharing their stories and messages through performance. Yeah. You know what I mean? Through art.
That's what we're doing here at Blazing Fire. We just
and that's them. Like you cannot take that away from them regardless to what it is. You know what I mean? So the reason why I'm talking that, I just want to come back to the word kind of discovery and come back to what you said before, that when is the first time you found that you've got talent? You know what I mean? When is the first time you found that like you discovered something and da. But actually not discovering, exposing that talent. You know what I mean? For the world to see. And also for the for the people to get like recognize you for what you bring into this world. Because everybody again is valid. And everybody's voices need to be heard. And to be honest, like this country we're living in, Australia, I started to understand like what's happening. And as you were saying before, we need to be in harmony with one another. And that's what our brothers from the First Nation and our sisters as well from the First Nation, that's what they keep talking about to the white folks for many, many years. They're like, bro, like, you guys are here, let's live together in harmony. Let's, like, literally,
let's treat each other well, balance everything, respect each other. That's
but again, that segregation is still happening there. And then using black culture, discovering it, putting it under, and then they kind of like live with it, and also just giving like a tiny little voice. It doesn't make sense to me, man. And until when those people who wearing like ties and stuff, they would understand. But you should be overstand because it seems like you're in a position of power, and then you don't know what to do with that power.
People be like, I understand. Actually, which is the thing, we should say overstand, because understand, which means all right, I've said it, you've chucked it under the table, and then go like, I exposed my talent, not discover, I guess.
You expose
I exposed since I was young, I guess, I've always been, in the church, Catholic. I grew up in a Catholic and, mission environment. So there's something that used to be Kizito group, like young kids, I used to be part of that. I've been always volunteering, let's say, taking leadership.
Sorry to cut you off, man. Yeah. It's just something come out of, like, in my head. I discovered it in my head.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I want to ask you. Because there's some people that they say, I found God. Is it the same word with discovery? Like I discovered God?
Nah, it's not the same way because.
Yeah, found God. I mean,
Because what's the difference
because
between fine?
I'm sorry, but the colonialist Europeans or the white folks,
Hey man,
they actually
you don't need to be sorry.
They actually use the word discovered as in I found this place.
Yeah.
So he has the point to ask that, because they come to this country and be like, oh, we discovered Australia, meaning we found Australia.
We found it.
Yeah, we found it, yeah. So they use discovery. So if someone says I actually found God, does that mean they discovered God?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if I go to one of those European countries and find a hill where there's no one is living under a hill, and I planted my flag and be like, oh yep, this is my island. Is that a discovery or is that just something that a land that was abandoned? Can you please? I want to know. Yeah. I want someone to explain it to me. Would that be a discovery or just finding the place? Yeah.
I was gonna make another joke about it before
let's
go. This happened. I was like, I think Europeans back then, during colonialism, slavery time, they claimed they discovered a lot in Africa. And now the population of Africans living in European countries has increased. Look at France.
Yeah, brothers.
Their soccer team is like 90% is full of Africans. So maybe they should plug their flag there and be like, now we discovered the France. Bonjour. Bonjour. Give them the boot and be like, we discovered, this.
As I was saying before, there's a book called The Ghost of King Lepo. It's a book that I recommend to any, whether you're black, white, yellow. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what color you are, green,
just
yellow.
read the book, and you will find the reason why I was pissed off when I was doing that a little bit of because these are the things when you come across these things, and you realize these are the people that are right up there high in powers when they should be the people that show us the way to be the leaders. But these are the people that are doing misdeed. Like if you look at the way World War I was started, it's just ridiculous because the British intelligence was the one that actually blew up the own ships and blame it on the German.
It's still happening.
That's right there.
9/11.
Yeah.
The same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like all of these are political. You know what I mean? But we're touching the service for you to go out there and do your own research. Yeah. But we're here to kind of just expose, some tiny bit. And, we're going to write the book name as well. So for you can go in Amazon, you could go to all of these other platforms. You can go and
push
get
the book.
Yeah, go to the libraries. They're out there, man. So, man, like before we go, not disclose before we go.
Oh no, we're not going yet. Tonight I'm going to discover some dance moves on the dance floor.
So for
you just have to go there.
Man. Sorry, man. Did I make you cough? That's how we do blazing. Come on, we blaze here.
Let's go. People out there who enjoyed today's episode, so please do like the comment, subscribe, hit that bell
right there. It will be somewhere right here.
And have a beautiful weekend. This is
Mac
Alberto.
Until next time, we'll see you.
See you.
Blazing fire.
Blazing. Keep blazing.